Buenos dias, amigos. First full day in Cartagena. I'm in super tourist mode, so I only have a couple days. I'm gonna get it all in. Look at this beautiful historic center. Basically, I got in late last night because that bus was a total clown show. Showed up like an hour and a half late. They made so many stops. We ended up getting in at like 8 o'clock. Then I had to take an Uber, 45 minutes to Central. But I met a good German dude and an Aussie guy. And it's crazy, the German dude lives in Munich and he's on my flight to Munich on Wednesday, right? So everything works out. But last night I had to order a lot of gas water on the Rappi. And so just right on the street I'm on right now, I met the Rappi lady and just putas, which is a word for prostitutes, were on the street like crazy, like staring you down, ready to jump on you. And I had heard from my Colombian friends that like every other girl in Cartagena is working, right? And they got the scopamine in kilos. So I can see why the Spirit airline, fresh off the boat gringos, getting in a lot of trouble in Cartagena. Look at these buildings though. Freaking love these buildings, man. I want a colonial building by the sea in Latin America so bad. Everyone says that the center of Cartagena, there's players, big time. Oh, got a little construction. Yeah, so far though, it's got a good vibe. Man, I love anytime there's a Latin American colonial city on a beach, on the ocean. Anytime you can find that, man, I like it. But here's what people say. They say, oh, the first week in Cartagena, you'll love it. And if you do like a month, you'll be like, get me out of this hell pit. So maybe that will happen, maybe it won't, but I'll be here for 5 days. So we got a church. That's a great building. It's always a sanctuary when the churches, the cathedrals in Latin America. So you have chaoticness everywhere else, and then in the church it's just calm. You know, I've really learned to appreciate that. Because the past year I've been down here and I'm getting cabin fever. I am so tired of things not working, chaoticness, no rules. It's amazing. I say no rules. I love no rules. It's amazing, but you need breaks from it. Otherwise you go mad. Like, I don't understand how people can actually function in such a society. You know, it's crazy to me. First vendor to offer a magical coca. Heard that goes around a lot here. My advice is I wouldn't mess with cocaine in Colombia unless you want to get in some trouble or you know people, like local connects. But it's quite dangerous to partake in the national product. Ha, look at this. No putas. A nice little coffee. Lovely lady. Nice little shop too. story that came to my mind because I went out to eat with some Twitter friends, an old couple from Canada in Santa Marta. And they brought along another older friend that was actually staying in my building. He bought a place for $80,000. The apartment I stayed at was pretty damn good in Santa Marta. But anyways, it reminded me, I think Latin America is a young man's world, okay? If you're old, probably go to Southeast Asia. Because this dude, he went through the rigor. He was walking back to our place at night, not too far, which I was surprised. It's a pretty safe area away from what I thought the hooligans were. And like 9 o'clock at night, now it's dark then, these dudes cornered him and stabbed him. He's an old man, you know, he's big, probably like my height. And they cornered him and stabbed his ass 6 times. He thought he was gonna bleed out on the street. And he wasn't trying to fight. He was like, okay, hey, I'll give you what you want. And obviously he doesn't speak Spanish. And all of a sudden it got into little fights. Like he was trying to, you know, grab the knife, and they stabbed his ass. And then he somehow got a taxi, and he was like bleeding out in the taxi. It was crazy. And then he sat in the hospital for like 5 days. His wounds did heal. They said if you went to got to the hospital like sooner, you know, you probably would have been dead. So this guy's like, I'm selling everything. I can't stand this place. It's not a society. And so yeah, I think that definitely Latin America, there's a ton of spots where you can find complete security, right? But it can always happen, you know? You have to be ready for that. And I don't think when you're in your older ages and you want to retire, that you should have to put up with that, right? So yeah, I go to Southeast Asia. As for me though, I mean, I only ended up in the emergency room once. Haven't gotten robbed. I don't even think my card's gotten cloned either, which is crazy unless they're doing like minimal purchases. Like this is what they do. They'll do like from Amazon F, or like it'll look like it's Amazon, but it's not, and they'll do like $9, you know, every couple weeks, right? And so you don't notice it, and then within 6 months, you know, they got an easy 100 off you, right? My card got cloned once in Florianopolis, but my bank was really good. Canceled it, sent me out a new card within a week. But other than that, man, I've been totally chill in Colombia, and it's not like I'm staying in tourist areas the whole time, right? I'm exploring, I'm going out, you know, getting lost in the sauce a little bit, and you know, it's been fine. But like I said, it can happen anytime, anywhere, and when that time comes, it's the cost of doing business, baby. Some positive news, I finally got back into an Uber yesterday, and oh my God, the difference is astounding. In Santa Marta, all you have is taxis, and they're just clowns. Very, very unprofessional. Have to pay in cash. They'll make stops and talk to people on the street. It's just, it doesn't make sense. But I had this guy last night, Rafael. Oh my God, just a freaking professional. So that's a good thing about Cartagena. Cali had an Uber, Bogota did. But it just makes my life a lot easier. So very good experience. The Ubers in Colombia. All right, gonna go to the walls, baby. Oh, here we go. Got some walls on the old city. Uh-oh. Something's going on over here. A little hard rock. I don't understand how people like wear that Hard Rock shirt everywhere. You know, it'll be like, you'll be in Cancun, they have like a Hard Rock Amsterdam or something. I don't know, it's funny. Oh, it's a tour. Now these buildings right here, I love more and more. No gracias, amigo, no gracias.
English?
Nope. Sí. No gracias. Alright, we got our first guy hawking us down. He's like, English? No? Italiano? I said, see. He started spitting. Look at this though. Fucking beautiful. We had about 6 come at me now. Now we're starting to get heated up. It's early in the morning too, that's probably why. But basically if you ignore them, usually you're good. Only problem with that is it just ruins your mood, right? Normally I'm a friendly guy, I like to talk, shoot the shit, especially with the locals. But when you're in these type of environments, you can't. Because then you'll be spending 10 minutes or they'll start following you and you have to be really rude. And it puts a damper on your vibe, you know? I don't like my vibe being dampered. I want to be a good boy. I will say the best vendors ever have been in the northeast of Brazil, man. They're just like, hey, do you need something? No? Okay, move on, have a great day. You know, I was acting like an asshole to them like I normally do because I'm used to vendors. You just can't acknowledge them. And they would be like getting sad. Like I was hurting their feelings like as a friend, you know what I mean? And Maria was like, Nick, you can't do that, you know? They're just trying to help you. And it was funny. So very good vendors in the northeast of Brazil. But now I can feel like I'm back in an injured gazelle in the line. They're ready to pounce on me. All right, we're going in the park. And look, I got nothing but respect for hustlers, right? I've learned a lot from street hustlers, especially in Mexico. They are masters at game, basically running game on people. And but you just can't even acknowledge them, sadly. And I like to acknowledge people. I'm a good boy, at least my mother says. Tell you what though, it would be kind of fun to be a street hustler. Maybe when they had the little simulations, I'll do that. You know, have you seen Now You See Me? Remember that movie? One of those dudes was an infamous pickpocketer. It'd be kind of cool to play that game, but I'm a good boy. Ooh, Cambio. I would not go to Cambio in Colombia. I still have a lot of Reyes on me, and they're trying to give me 50% of the real rate everywhere in the Santa Marta. Freaking criminal. Alright, they're getting a little bad. Not as bad as Mexico. Mexico prepared me for anywhere in the world, how much they try to hawk you down in Playa del Carmen. I just don't like when they start sneaking up behind you, right? You know, they have your hand in your pocket. One of my Colombian friends told me pickpocketing is crazy here. I went through Naples just fine. And that's where the real professional pickpocketers are, in Italia. But yeah, overall I had a beautiful time in Colombia. It reminds me a lot of Brazil, the culture, the vibe. I don't know, I think I've had nicer experiences with locals though in Colombia, which is saying a lot because I've had many beautiful experiences in Brazil. But very warm, humble people. I think because of all the beaches Brazil has, thousands and thousands, it puts it over for sure. It's just such a massive country, right? And I think too the isolationism, the extreme isolationism. Colombia has that too, but I don't know. Brazil just has my heart for sure. But Colombia is right up there. It's very close. For sure we'll come back. Cause I need to do like the rural stuff, you know, the real adventures. I think that would be really beautiful. I think because Colombia is like second most biodiverse country in the world, behind Brazil. But yeah, it's like big brother, little brother thing with Brazil and Colombia. Oh, I would also say Brazil is a lot safer, especially relating to the dating and the scoping. But for me, Brazil is totally fine. Like, especially if you're a good gringo, a nice gringo, you'll be good. Like the favelas, I mean, if you know people or go in there and you aren't stupid, it's fine. Usually they do the work like in the centrals of Brazil. I don't know. I would argue Brazil is a lot safer than Colombia. Not gonna lie, this would be perfect without the tourist issues, but of course, every place is too good to be true. It's gotta have some issues. Look at these little block here, amazing. I'm very impressed how well they've kept these old buildings, and they got the flowers and they keep it clean. Very nice. I need to find one of these cities without tourists on the ocean in Latin America, year-round good weather. Zero issue with safety so far, knock on wood. I'm walking around aimlessly, not checking phones, but with the camera, no issue. Love this. You can say something to it.
Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Florida man. He came up and he tried hustling me. I was scared for a second, but he turns out to be a nice guy. You know? Alright, so I ended up on a little date with my Florida man. You know, got a cute little cubby area. It's a nice seafood restaurant. It's recommended by my Airbnb. But Florida man, what are you down here for?
So I'm here for a wedding. I'm here for a buddy's wedding. My whole family's from Colombia, so I was like, fuck it, why? I have to come. So what? I made it. It's supposed to be like a weekend trip. I made it a week-long trip. And I met Nick, and now we're doing our thing.
To the people you meet, right? Salud.
Here, salud.
It's always the people you meet. This is one of the best things about traveling. My man Rick was a blast to hang out with. The next couple of days we stumbled around town, Too Much Club, Colombia, and took over his rooftop pool. Beautiful. Need a pool in Cartagena. Anything can happen on the road. Be open to strangers. Oh man, not bad. I'm getting over a little sickness, but I got to enjoy the islands before I go. Next stop, Deutschland. Total pattern, culture, societal change. I need that. As much as I love Latin America, you can't not go crazy spending too much time here. Life doesn't make sense here. You can't think. You just have to be.